bunch of camper stuff at that yard sale, but if I would have seen a 30 amp 25-foot cord or 50-foot cord, I'd stop, I'd look at it, I'd ask him how much he's asking, you know, what's the price on it. Tell me, I'm like, okay, is it okay if I look at it and make a call? He's like, yeah. And if he's like, yeah, go ahead. So I'll call Dad. I'm like, hey, there's a guy lives like 3 or 4 doors down from Corey, my uncle. On the opposite side of the street. Selling 25 and a 50-foot cord for, you know, a 30 amp cord for a camper. You know, he's like, I'd always ask how much. And I tell him the price, you know, so let's say $50 for 20 or 50 feet. You know, the 50-foot one was $50. The 25 was 30. Let's say. He said, well, see how much you do on the 25, you know, the lowest. Hit him with an offer for the 25 foot. I said, what do you do? You know, I'd hit him with 20. He said, yeah, I do 20 with the 25 foot. I'm like, all right, now with the 50, would you do 40? He's do 40 with the 50 foot. I'm like, all right. And now, if you want to do a package deal to get rid of both these cords together, shoot me a price. I'll do. You know, he'd see, like, let's say 75. I'd be like, do 70. And if he'd said, yeah, I'm like, okay, give me about 10, 15 minutes. I'll go get the money. I'll come back. I'm going to have 80, you know, because that's only what ATMs dispense is, you know, for the smallest bill is 20s. So I'm going to need some change. She's like, okay. You know, so then I just buy cords for the camper, but 25 feet would be more than enough for us, because the cord that comes out of the camper is already long enough. So, which I may tell, when Dad gets home, I may tell him about it. And he'd say, like, well, why the fuck are you down there? I'm like, dude, I'm gonna tell him. I'm like you, try to look for deals. You know, seeing, you know, I was out riding around, seeing that there's a yard sale on Harold. Went down there to look, see if there's anything good. So there's some stuff that piqued my interest, but I didn't know if you wanted, you know, any of it because it's stuff that we already have. So they go, what is it? I said, it's all freaking, well, I see that there's some camper stuff there, but it's all dog bones. What dog bones are adapters to go from like 50 to 30 amp, from 50 amp to 30 amp, and then it's, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's what those are used for. But I didn't see any cords. I was talking about cords for if there was any. I didn't see any. Because we got 100-foot triple tap 10.3 extension cord in the camper that Dad wants to get rid of. It's 100 feet of fucking copper. You know, it's 100 feet of fucking 10 gauge 3-wire copper. Or you know, it's, no, 10 gauge 3-wire copper cord. You know, so the freaking cord is about the diameter of a fucking quarter. The Dad thought about cutting it down to take some of the weight out of the camper, because we got it in that front compartment in the nose, which we never really had to use the fucking cord for the camper outside of plugging it in at home or at Grandma's. Is that one of Piontek's trailers? No, I don't think so.